Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So cards have been flying. They've been flying all over the place. I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is this is a confirmation you've been waiting for. So we're, I guess, waiting for confirmation for something. I think you already know what you need to know, to be honest. Okay, so all these cards kind of came out, right? So, okay, you're no longer a fledgling, but you're not focused on what it is that you need to do. And until you focus, you're not going to prosper. The guidance you're receiving right now is coming from your insecurities. You are being misguided because of your fear of your own success. Now, there's something you're needing to invoke before the summer is done. You don't have much time left. When is summer finished? I don't know. I honestly don't care to look it up. You need to invoke something. You need to call something to you before the summer is done. So to me, um, this is kind of like your soul letting you know, like you need to step in a space of full control and full awareness of what you're bringing to you. What do you want in life? What is it? What is it that you want? Right? What is it that you want? So, imagination, you're not imagining this, but you don't want to believe it because for you, it's something that you think is forbidden. But if you allow yourself to do this, you're going to have the type of security that you want and need. I'm wondering if that's like financial security. 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 So, those are the cards that fell out. Okay, those are just the ones that fell out. Don't play. We not playing. Okay. So you saw something about this potential that got you all discombobulated. It made you feel like your efforts are hopeless, and it got you to agree to some degree of it got you to agree to enter into another upside down cycle. You need to push this out of your life. Whatever this is, this mindset, this depleting opportunity. What's like the opposite of an opportunity? It's not a lost opportunity. It's like an opportunity to allow something negative to happen to you. Like you have to stop. You have to become rebellious. You have to fight against your fear. You have to allow yourself to get to a space where you just know you're not going to comply with your fear. Summer just ended. Oh, shoot. Was it on the 21st or the 22nd or something like that? The equinox, is that when it ended? I'm absolutely astro illiterate. I don't follow planetary or lunar movements, positionings, and stations or any of that. I don't follow any of that. So I don't know. But you need to stop allowing whatever this is that's happening. For some people, you know what this is? You're letting others pick on you. And I know some people are going to immediately receive what I just said as like, oh my God, is Emmy victim shaming? No, I'm telling you to knock it the fuck off. You know how hard it is to bully someone who refuses to be bullied? You know how easy it is to bully someone who's like, oh, I have no power in this. You have to proclaim what you want. You have to not make it easy for people to keep insisting things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so much control, so much power over yourself. You keep giving it away. This is a confirmation you've been waiting for. Your greatest problem in your life is the way you disregard your power over yourself. That is your greatest hurdle, your greatest blockage. So it's because you don't have confidence. Your soul is pointing out that you don't have confidence. It wants you to come to a space of fulfillment. But as long as you don't allow yourself to go through the things that will build your confidence, you will not move through it. And that's just the bottom line. As long as you do not allow yourself to be fully present and fully observing what it is you are going through, you will not have the confidence to fulfill whatever you need to fulfill in order to get to the next part. Predatory people, they prey upon your lack of confidence. See, sometimes, and this is from my own personal experience, sometimes when you hesitate to hold yourself with the appropriate degree of reverence, the appropriate degree of self respect, people think that that means you don't understand your value, you don't understand your worth. And then because they misunderstand your humility, they misunderstand your chosen behaviors of side skirting, so people don't think you're conceited, people don't think you're full of yourself, and all this other like just nonsensical stuff, because people are going to think that about you regardless of what you do. You know what ends up happening when you do that, when you side skirt all of that, uh, the predatory people think like, oh, you won't fight back. There's going to be an easy attack. I've had quite a few people look at me just being myself, which, I mean, I don't know what you want me to be. That's all I'm capable of being is myself. And although I have no chill, I'm a pretty chill person, you know. Um, like I don't like conflict. I don't like any of that. It's not to say I'm not capable of full-blown conflict. It's not to say I'm not capable of being like fucking aggressive, because I can. I do have that capacity. I just don't like it. You know what I mean? I like to be able to just communicate needs and hear each other out, respect each other, have that level of mutual respect, this reciprocity that I believe should exist between all peoples. And, you know, here's the thing, I have a booming energy. So when I present myself in that way, because I really just, I want to chill and be peaceful with people. And then predatory people, they see that and then they feel the boom of my energy. And because I'm not being, you know, a showboat, I'm not being flagrant in my like showcasing, like, look at me, I'm powerful. Sometimes the predatory people, they're like, ooh, I'm going to take her power. I'm going to just steal her identity and her destiny. No, the fuck you ain't. Bitch, please. I'm peaceful because I have the capacity to be ratchet as fuck. That's why I'm peaceful. Like, you know, people try and think that they can easily intimidate me and put me in spaces of like public shame and this. I'm so fucking shameless. It's ridiculous. I am. I have no shame. You think you're going to weaponize an aspect of my history that's brought me to this point of just abso-fucking-lute peace? You're going to weaponize that, babe. Babe. There's nothing about my life or my history that I'm ashamed of. And it's not an act. I just accept my life as it is. There's no ugly parts. There were parts that were sad. Yeah. Parts where I felt sad. Parts where I allowed people to make me feel sad. parts where I embraced this feeling of internal destruction. I have a little bit of a masochistic streak sometimes. Not because I'm weak. I'm a Piscean. Sometimes I just like to feel things. That's a thing. Sometimes I just like to feel things because sometimes it's the very pain that I feel that reminds me I'm still alive. This is not a dream. And I'm actually in full control of what happens to me, my body, and my destined path. You know how powerful that is to be able to speak such powerful words in a half whisper, because I don't need to prove, I don't need to convince, I don't need to do anything. I know this without any doubt. I know myself enough at this point. I don't know all of me yet, but I know enough of me to know you will never force me to do something I don't already want to do. People think that they can force you into an argument, into a skirmish, into a verbal tussle. Babe, if I engage you, it's because I wanted to. I wanted to. And you might be like, oh, because she sees me as a worthy adversary. No, you're getting ahead of yourself there. It's usually because I'm in a petty mood, because again, I am human. I'm in a petty mood and you have volunteered to entertain me. Do you see how you've never taken any power from me? When you own your decisions, and there are times where I didn't have to say anything, I didn't have to respond. I just chose to because, I mean, really though, sometimes I just want to entertain myself. I get petty sometimes. Petty Piscean, petty Luya. You guys ever see that content creator? He's hilarious. He's like, don't go out of your way to be petty. Oh, baby, that's completely on my way. Petty Luya. He's hilarious. He is hilarious. He is just hilarious, hilarious. I messaged him once and I told him I told him anytime I see one of your Petty Luya posts, I receive it as confirmation, as a sign from soul. And so he responds, watch out now, slow down. And I said, Petty Luya. Because he's hilarious. He's hilarious. I take a look at him and I see he's been through things and he used humor to not just survive it. He used humor to find a way to thrive once again. And then I got curious and I kind of went through some of his content and I happened to stumble across a really old video. Apparently, he had suffered and was diagnosed with the big C. And I was just like, gotcha. Gotcha. That's strength. That's strength right there. When life gives you no reason to smile, no reason to laugh, and you still take it upon yourself to find the reasons to feel happiness, to have humor in the face of tremendous adversity, that's power. That right there. I love that. I love that. So the worlds within worlds is what your strength is. This part of you that you keep confined inside of you where, you don't show this aspect of yourself. That's actually one of your most powerful parts. But here's the thing, even though you're that powerful, you're not allowing your intuition to guide you as to how to navigate through specific aspects of your life. And then something is trying to get you to take time out from your integrity. It's trying to corrupt you. So for some of you, you're going to find a situation is being presented to you. It's a circumstance that is filled with adversity. It's an invitation by a wannabe adversary. Remember, they have to be worthy of you to be considered your adversary. Yeah. Otherwise, they're just an inconvenience. So there's someone who is a want to be adversary, and they're going to present you with an opportunity to step out of your integrity. What are you going to do? They're going to entice you to act out of character, to match their energy. Now, remember, I'm human. So, as part of my human experience, I can sometimes enter into spaces where I'm in a petty mood, right? And you want some? I got some. If I'm petty, yeah. If I'm in that petty mood, typically I won't go live or interact with people outside of my family, my immediate family, if I'm in a petty mood, because no, thank you. So in that instance, I might match that energy. I might match your assholery and top you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm in my actual power and using my power responsibly, no, thank you. You're not a worthy adversary. I'm not going to waste my time or my energy, because really what's happening here, if you take this lesser consciousness up on that offer to engage in a way that is pulling you out of your character, out of your truth and your integrity, it's trying to cosmically connect with you in order to drain your energy centers. Oh shit. So, oh, there's a pivoting that's happening. It's a hive mind. Ants are like a hive mind. They work together. They can accomplish things. So, yikes. Multiple layers and levels of messaging. So, first and foremost, we're taking the first steps of our spiritual journey. This is card number 11. So, the first steps. There are things that are trying to see which of your power centers you are going to utilize, which chakras you are going to utilize in order to negate their efforts. Now, once that happens, there's this potentiality that something or someone outside of you is going to distract you. I see green cords in this image, right? These green cords. And these green cords are basically trying to get you into a space of, Captain Save-A-Ho. It is excuse me, should I save her? I want to be saved. Don't. Okay. Put down your Captain Morgan hat. Put down your leg. You're not going to save no hose. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's up to you. If you are chest deep in your savior era, where you think you're going to be saving people, you go ahead and do what you need to do to learn what you need to learn. But for those who are no longer in their Save-A-Ho era, um, you just got to keep it fresh, keep it moving. Okay. If it's a friend who is coming to you with drama, first you have to ask yourself, is this person consistently embroiled in drama? If the answer is yes, why are they still your friend? That is an absolute drain and drag. Like, my God. There are realities in life. And some of the realities is that you cannot always avoid conflict. A real friend will be able to trust you with sharing that conflict they're facing and maybe having some conversation with you so they can gain clarity. And you, as a real friend, should be able to know when your real friend is really just going through an acute circumstance and they need your support. Okay? They need your support. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that person that you claim as a friend, but they don't really see you as a friend. They see you and your sacred space as a dumping ground. Y'all know who I'm talking about in your life. You know exactly who this is. They treat you like a dumping ground. They have zero consideration that maybe you're going through something too. Like all the friends that I have in my life at this point, they are people who, if they're going to share something with me that they just need some support, they need a little bit of like encouragement, or maybe they just need to talk, they need to have someone they trust who can help them kind of work this out in their head. um, they always have this stance of like, are, are you like is are you going through something right now? Because I wanted to ask you your thoughts on blah blah blah, and I want to make sure that you have the space, you have the capacity to be able to do this with me. Like, I don't want to impose. That's always the type of mutual respect that we have for each other. I don't have anyone in my life that treats me like a dumping ground. Because guess what? It's not because I have life figured out, because I absolutely do not have life figured out. I don't. It's because the moment they start doing that is the moment I'm suddenly busy and unavailable, and I will continue to be unavailable every single time they do that until they learn I'm not your personal dumping ground. And it's not to say I'm not there for my friends. It's to say I'm recalibrating and redefining what my definition of a friend is. Just because you love someone and you are there for them does not mean they have the capacity to reciprocate that degree of respect, love, and consideration. And for some of you, this is the confirmation. This is the confirmation. But don't be so quick, okay? Don't be so quick to cut people off. You have to make sure you reconfirm. Allow them the time and the space to show you whether or not you misunderstood. My thing is, as long as someone is making tremendous efforts to meet me where I'm at within that space of knowing my worth, exercising boundaries, and having some degree of standards, I'm not so quick to just walk away. What kind of question is that even, Sandra? What kind of question is that even? Like, are you serious right now? Because that's a very dangerous situation. You ask me, what if that friend knows where you live and has a couple of pew pews and is a little unhinged at this moment? Like, that's not a game. Are they unhinged towards you? If someone is unhinged and they have access to tools of destruction, um, if they do something and you know they're going to do something, you are partially responsible for not reporting that. If someone is unhinged, for me, I have a personal obligation to call them the help that they need. They need to be on a 5150 involuntary psychiatric hold. I'm not talking about like unhinged as though they're just in a bad mood and they're cussing people out. I don't know. I'm sorry, Sandra. I have to exercise a boundary here. This reading is not going to be about you and your personal circumstance. You need to seek actual advice, professional advice, because that right there, I don't play with stuff like that. No. I don't care if someone is not afraid. The moment you start including tools that are destructive, that are catastrophic, you get reported. I don't mean online. I mean, I am calling 911. I'm getting you the help that you clearly need. Either a welfare check, a 5150 hold. I don't know, but I'm not playing, and it will not be on my hands what you do to other people while you are unhinged. We need to start really being clear. People don't play with me like that anymore. They don't play with me like that. There is only one outcome if you play like that with me. You will have a sheriff show up to your residence or wherever you are at to make sure you are not a threat to yourself or other people. I do not play. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Nope. I once had a person implying that negative things, hurtful, harmful things would happen to them if I refused to accept their paid bookings any further. Oh, sheriff showed up. Don't play with me, baby boo. I am not a licensed mental health professional, but because of my level of ethics, you will have a sheriff show up to do a welfare check. When people know that there are consequences for their behaviors, real legality type consequences for those types of behaviors, they tend to not play. And when there is a paper trail illustrating these types of threats and these types of behaviors, they begin to realize anything happens to you, they're the first suspect. Earlier in this video, I was talking about how we enable predatory people. We enable predatory people. And the things that we allow become the stepping stone for them to elevate and escalate the threats, the nasty behaviors. I've had to learn this over and over and over and over and over. I'm over the learning. So now, certain behaviors, you only get one reaction, and you will never access me. And no, it will not be something where I feel afraid. Oh, I feel badly for you. Oh, I'm so crushed. No, I become cold and unfeeling. It's strictly policy and procedure. Why? No, I will no longer be manipulated by people. No more sob story, nonsensical bullshit. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is the boundary I will no longer allow anyone to cross. No, no, no. That's a very, very serious subject matter. And for people, I've said enough. I've said enough. So let's see. Some people need a clarifier. And as they get clarity, the royal within them returns. They begin to actively choose the type of cycles that they will participate in. And as you actively choose what type of cycle you participate in, you can then begin to choose whether or not you're going to continue with these different types of like nonsensical things. You know what I mean? Um, it's, it's a lot. Thank you for sharing that, Julia. Julia says, don't be afraid to stand your ground. I went through that horrible situation and took him to court twice, and he never bothered me again. Yeah, sometimes people will do and do and do until they know you're really not backing down. I initiated a criminal case because of the aggravated degree of harassment, death threats, and all of these things. I initiated a criminal case. And they continued with the emails and the threats and attempts to try and geolocate me, like find my physical location. This is why I never share my physical location with anyone. And long story short, they lost the criminal case. They now have a criminal record. But that wasn't enough because they were still trying to continue. Except here's the thing, I didn't halt the civil litigation. I sued the fucking shit out of them. We're still in that. And I will not end that civil suit. I don't give a shit how long it takes. Because now I fight for myself. I don't just fight for my community. I fight for myself. I will no longer allow my kindness, my compassion, and my patience to be weaponized against me. Oh, and I'm still keeping tabs on whether they comment on live streams or not. I don't give a shit how many profiles are created. I document everything, 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 everything. No, I'm not living in a war zone. I'm living in a space of being empowered, knowing I am worth the fight and I will fucking fight. And I'm good at fighting. I'm good at fighting. Why? Because I like to? No, because I fought so many battles and wars over the course of my lifetime. Just this life alone. I will not be intimidated. I will not shrink down. I will not respond, react, or do what you think I will. I will do what I know I need to do. So now people are learning. You talk your shit in private. You leave me the fuck out of it. You dislike me in private. You leave me the fuck out of it. You live your life, your miserable, miserable life. Leave me out of it. They're learning, and I'm not apologizing. Your power is returning in a big way. Thank you, Minnow. Minnow Pontero. I just got a notification. Pisces, your power is returning in a big way. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is. Because guess what? What you're being told to do is recognize the ways in which you continue to betray yourself. The things that you say that enable other people to continue their malicious, malignant behaviors directed at you, you are in control of that. You are in control of that. I used to be one who was like, I received this message from this nasty person, and they're like talking about how they used to like use their cousin's picture in a disgusting way. And my husband said, you need to tell them they can't be messaging shit like that. And I was like, just nobody answer them. They don't have anybody. Oh, they're this, they're that, they're going through. And you know what? You know what? I don't take that stance anymore. You know the stance that I take? Full frontal confrontation. You're being ridiculously disgusting and weird. Like, I don't know what your intention is, but you're looking really fucking weird and you're going to need to stop, and I'm going to ban you. Like, do you realize how you appear publicly right now? That's like not good. It's not good. Mhm. And this is the last time you're going to be able to contact me. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't give a shit what you're going through. I'm full confrontational at this point. Do I have confrontation with everyone? No, because I don't need to. I don't need to. But I need to make clear, no, It's not me not having a problem with it, but someone on my team is being a big baby and is forcing me to push away. No, I don't want you. I don't want you around me. I don't want you talking to me. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm not afraid to hurt people's feelings at this point. Do I go out of my way to hurt people's feelings? No, no, I don't. But when you put me in a position where it's very, very clear that your intent, whether subconscious or full on outright, is to deplete me of my peace, I will tell you straight up to your face with no expression on mine that you are fucking disgusting and you need to fucking go away. Notice how I don't have any shame right now. I don't feel bad. It's not even a petty type situation. It's me being upfront. I don't like that shit. I won't allow just any behavior around me. I deserve more than that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I deserve respect at the same level that I openly give everyone until you show me repeatedly you are not worthy of that minimum level of respect that I give everyone. I will be respectful. Does that make me, here's the thing. Let it be known. I don't give a shit how people receive the boundary. That's like me caring that you're upset that my house has walls. Even my stomach is saying that's bullshit. I should I should feel ashamed right now for understanding that I conduct myself in a way where I have earned mutual reciprocal respect. Yeah. Again, I'm human. There'll be some days I'll have some attitude. And when you give me attitude back, I'll be like, I started it. Give you attitude first. Let me recalibrate myself. Let me shift this. Hey, I'm sorry I said it that way. You're not the issue here. I'm having some type of personal thing going on. And I'm sorry that I took it out on you. And I've had to say that. I've had to say that. Oh, to complete strangers, even on the phone, in person. I've had to say that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I hold myself accountable. This is your confirmation to no longer allow yourself to be depleted. For what? You think that makes you a good person? All it does is showcase to predatory people that you have no problem with maltreatment, unprovoked maltreatment at that. Maybe the problem isn't how other people treat you. Maybe the problem is how you treat yourself and it's being projected out into your environment by your soul. And it's calling in the people who can mirror that type of behavior and maltreatment of you so that you can finally see you don't deserve that. Receiving in reverse, you don't deserve that. You've been convinced by someone outside of yourself that you deserve things that you don't deserve. Now that you're aware, you're obligated to change that within yourself. I don't think it's a coincidence that in the earlier years of being publicly visible, I was cyberbullied in such a way where they were echoing the things that I secretly said to myself, the self loathing, self hating type of things, these accusatory statements I would make. I would accuse myself of I must be evil or something. I must be a demon. Why can I do these things that other people can't do? Like it must be me. I'm the issue. I was never a fucking issue. To this day, to this day, I'm about to turn 47, okay? I have never in my life been the one to start shit. I don't initiate drama with people. But Emmy, you've talked about all of these different types of dramas that you've had with others. Correct. Correct. Yes. I have repeatedly, since childhood, had people start shit with me, try and pick on me, and all this stuff. Am I a victim? No, no. I've never started shit, but I have the capacity to absolutely end that shit. And it's like the people who treat you the worst, they want you to be ashamed and hate the parts of you that have the capacity, have the purpose of negating the bullshit that's being forced upon you. You know, I have this one sibling that's like ridiculously toxic, right? I don't talk to him. He's not a part of my life. It's been quite a few years. He's like, it's in my opinion, he's so wildly out of control with his malignant narcissism. So that one sibling used to think that he could do things to me and I'm not supposed to react because if I react, I'm a fucking bitch. That was his nickname for me, fucking bitch, when I was a kid. Yeah. Yeah. Is that okay? I remember one time one of my other siblings, um, he was going to go travel and my parents were going to travel with him. And because my parents weren't going to be in the country for a month, my parents told me that I needed to pack my bags and they were going to have me stay with my aunt, who's like my second mom, right? And I was a teen. I was a teen. And so my parents are like, it's, we got to leave in like 5 minutes, go get your stuff. I go to my room and I see that my bag has been completely, all my things that I had carefully packed had been dumped out on the floor and my bag was missing. How would you feel if that happened? Would you be happy? Like, I don't know where my bag is. Someone took all my stuff, dumped it out of the bag onto the floor in my room. And I was pissed. I was pissed. I was like, where's my bag? And then my mom tells me, oh, I told your sibling um, to go use that bag. She didn't ask me nothing, nothing. She just, I told him to go grab that bag. So I go to my room and I'm furious in my room. And I'm trying to find a garbage bag to put my things in. And then my toxic sibling comes into my room. He's like, why are you being a fucking bitch? I still remember this. I still remember this. I was like 15 or 16 years old. I still remember this. He's like, why are you being a fucking bitch? I was like, get the fuck out of my room. I'm trying to pack my shit. And he's like, you're such a fucking bitch. And he struck me in the face so fucking hard. So hard because to him, I was being a bitch by being in my bedroom, having an appropriate emotional response to the type of dis-fucking respect that I've dealt with my entire life. Was that okay? Was I in the wrong? You see, now I'm not putting up with any of that shit. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this is not me speaking as though I'm angry. This is me speaking with authority over myself and no apologies for the fact that I know I did not deserve that. I was well within my right to have that angry feeling that my things were taken, that I was disrespected, disregarded. And I promise you, to this day, if you're to ask them, if you'd ask that sibling about that moment, he would reaffirm, yeah, no, my sister's a fucking bitch. And that's why you're not a part of my life. You never will be. It's not about anger. It's about accepting the toxicity that lives in people. You are not going to heal that. You are not going to be the one that turns it around. I'm sorry, Savior Boo. You are not that special that you can override someone's decision to be the person that they are. Because that's not the only time. That's not the only fucking time. Mm-mm. I remember one time we liked to go night fishing when we were younger. We go as a family. We go over to the pier over in San Francisco, and we would go night fishing. And we go crabbing and all of that stuff. And I remember one time we were on the pier, and that toxic sibling, his fishing pole signaled that there was a big fish that got hooked, and he picked it up immediately. And he didn't have the appropriate type of fishing line. It was too big for the fishing line. So as he's trying to reel it in, the fishing line snaps. Fish is gone. So he goes ahead and he puts his fishing pole down. He doesn't realize that I'm behind him. And he goes and he swings into the air his fist, which lands on my face. And it gave me a concussion. I felt my brain shake and I was dizzy and confused for quite a bit. And rather than saying sorry, he says to me, "Why the fuck were you in my way? You told me to grab the net. You told me to grab the net. I was supposed to catch the fish as you brought it up. You told me to do that, to be there." And people will say, "Oh my gosh, that's such a sad childhood." And I will tell you this, no, it wasn't okay and I didn't deserve that, but it serves a purpose. Because neither situations I didn't swing back. These days, you take a swing at me, I will fuck your ass up. I will fuck your ass up and I'm willing to go to jail. You do anything to my kids, I will fuck your ass up. I know how to fucking fight. Boy, and I'm fucking scrappy. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So do I need sympathy? Some of you might feel sympathy. Some of you might feel empathy because you've experienced certain types of circumstance in your life as a child, as a grown adult, DV type situations, things like that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the sympathy and the empathy. Do I need it? No. When I say I'm formidable, I'm fucking formidable. Injured or not, I am fucking formidable because the way my brain has been wired, I will stop at nothing. You will not tell me what to do. You will not force me to do anything. Why? Because I said so. And I have the utmost authority over myself. Did I do anything as a child to deserve those situations? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the predatory people, when they prey upon you, they will act as though you made them, your fault, you're the reason. I'll share this with you guys. So there was this grown ass male who decided that I was going to be the target. And he stalked and stalked and stalked. Criminal case, remember, this is not a joke. Criminal case ensued. He stalked, he stalked, he stalked. He made all these threats. I have documentation, timestamp documents from that person's email address, confirmed email address associated with financials, detailing the ways in which they were going to torture me, abduct, torture, unalive, right? All these ways in which they fantasize the things that they were going to do. And they thought I would enter into a space of fear. And then one day I was speaking to someone in the live stream who was talking about, retaliation, revenge, and this. And I said, there's really not a way to live. I'm not talking about revenge. I don't take revenge upon people. I just live my life. I live my life, but there is consequences for certain actions. There's consequences. And I go on to share how at that point I was leg pressing about 700 something pounds, 750 pounds. And it's this thing of, and I vaguely remember my words, when I say I can stomp the fucking shit out of you, I can literally stomp the fucking shit out of you. My legs were massive. And, this person who was glorifying their fantasies of the ways in which they would violate and harm me physically, they went ahead and shared with the court that they felt unsafe, that I was threatening them. Mind you, I didn't say anyone's name. I was actually speaking about there's no need to retaliate and have revenge, but there is a need to correct behaviors that are far out of line. Like, there's behaviors that need to be corrected. So you remember that, right, Lisa? Yeah. Yeah. So I had to sit there with my lawyers. And my lawyer is like, the person submitted evidence that you threatened to stomp them, physically harm them. And I said, oh, okay, I know exactly what video you're talking about. I will go ahead and take a clip that extends several minutes before that specific statement and several minutes after that specific statement. And I will give you the full transcript of the entire video. And you can go ahead and present to the court. At no point was there a threat. I was speaking to someone about retaliation and that's not necessary. There's no need for revenge. But when you're threatening to physically harm me, I have the physical strength to defend myself. And if I'm put in that position, I will stomp the fucking shit out of that person. I didn't name anyone. Because that person was finally learning, oh shit, I picked the wrong one. It's my assumption, based on their documented behaviors. My assumption and opinion is that they're a tad bit racist. They thought that I was going to be an Asian fetish because I'm obviously a smaller person. They thought I was going to be an Asian fetish that they could like manhandle and stuff. They didn't know that I grew up being manhandled my entire childhood. I was very roughly manhandled. I can hold my own against a male. Yeah, that's the reality of it. I can hold my own. Oh, I want to share this with you guys. So, that individual also made threats towards my children, right? They have no idea how many children I have, the ages of my children, and none of that. They don't have any idea. So yeah, here's the thing. I'm small, my children aren't. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Not only are they adult size, and I'm talking about formidable adult size, 6 feet. Yeah. They've been getting instruction from a phenomenal, multiple discipline coach. They just got promoted to the next belt. They're now going to begin actual heavy duty sparring, hands on application. It's fucking exciting stuff. Exciting, exciting, exciting stuff. So when you feel as though your power is being taken from you, what do? Do you shrink? Do you cower? No. You find ways to further reinforce that space where you feel the weakest. My children are good. They're all very athletic. Don't get yourself fucked up by the mama or the cubs. Don't get yourself fucked up by the papa bear either. My husband is fucking massive. He's massive. He'll fuck your ass up. I'll fuck your ass up. The cubs will fuck your ass up. Leave the bears alone. Leave us in our peace. We like to be peaceful. We do. We like to be peaceful. For anyone that has had the honor of spending time with my family, it's extremely rare for my children to even have a verbal disagreement. And they've never gotten physical with each other. That kind of shit's not allowed. We have harmony in our home. It's a real family. There's going to be moments of disagreement. You're never allowed to disrespect. Leave the bears alone, though. From the mama to the papa to the cubs, you get yourself fucked up. Because why? Because I will never allow myself or any member of my family to exist in that space of victimhood. Never. Never. Never, 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 never. You need to trust yourself and you need to defend to the end the worthwhile. That's you. Collaborative dreaming. This is about you needing to make sure that you allow yourself to be clear with your dreams, about your dreams, with your dreams. What is it that you dream to accomplish? What is it? Illuminating Manuscript says they also have no idea the metaphysical power you have. I've lost my hesitation. I'm more apt to use my metaphysical abilities to negate and neutralize a threat without having to use my elbows, knees, hands, and feet, sometimes head, depending on my spicy level. I have a hard head. I do. I can take a hit. Yeah. um, you know, if I need to do something to keep myself and my family safe without ever being physically affected by someone else's malignancy, I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with that now. I mean, it's kind of hard to remain in that malignant state if you shit yourself, which it's extremely easy to trigger peristalsis, hyperstimulate that movement, and cause someone to have uncontrolled bowel movement. It's very easy to do that. Okay, visions of life beyond death, legacy of light in reverse. So I think for people, we're confirming that you're seeing beyond this existence that you currently have, but you're not realizing that you're going to continue to exist after this process is done. You're feeling like your entire life is ending. You're feeling like Everything that's happening is intending to destroy you. It's intending to allow you to release this identity that was never you to begin with. So just release. Just release. So, all the things that I said earlier, does that prove that I'm a violent person? Will you tell me who I've been violent with? Not a damn single person. Everything I said earlier illustrates I have the capacity to be violent, yet I'm not, which is evidence of the reality that I am peaceful, not helpless. I am peaceful, not helpless. There's a difference between the two. You have to stop confusing peace with helplessness. This is your confirmation that sometimes people need to feel the potentiality of your anger and your rage, not by physically striking out, but by no longer hiding the fact that you have that capacity. Allowing yourself to be witnessed in your power as you're simply existing is a very powerful thing. Many years ago, there was this woman who has some type of issue. I don't know her. So we're sitting in our vehicle. This is when I was in Colorado, when I first had moved to Colorado, like, I don't know, 2014 or something, 2015. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And my family went to Boulder to go like explore things with the kids. And we were in a parking lot in our vehicle, minding our business. The engine was off, but my husband and I were kind of trying to figure out where we want to take the kids next. We were completely parked. Okay. Completely parked. This lady in a large SUV goes ahead and turns a wide turn into the parking stall on the driver's side. And she hits our vehicle, shakes our vehicle with us in it. Okay. And she gets out like she ain't do nothing. Starts to walk towards the stores. My husband gets out immediately to see the damage that she did to our vehicle. And I know my husband is livid. So I immediately get out as well because I don't want any conflict. And this lady says something along the lines of like, good luck. The police won't come out here for less than $1,500 damage. This is private property. And my husband's about to have a verbal altercation with her. And I'm like, okay, stop. Like, our kids are in the car. Like, stop. Don't. And he's like really mad. And I'm telling him, like, don't. If she doesn't want to give us her information, her license, her insurance, like, I'm going to take a picture of her license plate, take a picture of her VIN number, and we'll take a picture of the damage. That's a hit and run. What she's doing is a hit and run, private property or not. That's a hit and run. And she hears me saying this because she's already walking away. And she sees me pull out my phone and she comes running up. Mind you, I'm behind our vehicles. My husband is towards the front of the vehicles. We're not beside each other. She comes running up, super aggressive, like she's going to fight me. And at the time, I literally must have been about 90 pounds, maybe even like 80 something pounds. Very, very, very tiny. I was very, very, very tiny. And she comes running up and I look at her and then I look at my husband. She's still a short distance away from me. And I just calmly say to my husband, I'm going to jail today. Oh, she stopped right beside me, didn't swing, didn't nothing. And I looked at her, it's like, fucking touch me. I will wreck you in ways you never thought you could be wrecked. Fucking touch me. And all she could say was, you need to go back where you came from. And here's the thing, my license plate was a California license plate. She looked at that and then she looked me in the eyes. So I had one question for her. Do you mean China or do you mean California? Is this like a racist statement or is it just like, good old fashioned American type discrimination? Which one is it? You best believe she didn't touch me. Why? Did I threaten her? I made one statement, not even to her. I let my husband know I'm going to jail today. Of course, my husband immediately ran over. He's like, hey, 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 our kids are watching. I don't give a shit how small and emaciated my body is. You try and physically harm me, there's consequences. There are consequences. That's not a threat. That is not a threat. I will protect myself. I will protect my husband. I will protect my children. Husband's definitely capable of protecting himself, but no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Did I need to have this big show of power? No, I simply uncloaked the power that already exists inside me. It exists inside you. You are allowing people to believe that your disbelief in yourself is evidence of you being weak. I am not weak. So you guys know I've been injured, right? Whole entire 2025, I've been injured. I've had to rehab myself. It's been about I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks that I've been rehabbing. I couldn't do anything except body weight. Even that was super duper hard the first week. And then, today, I don't know, something shifted. I'm not sure what it is, but something shifted within me. And because this week we were doing some lat pull down variations, only 55 pounds, which is nothing compared to what I used to do, which was like 145 pounds, 160 pounds, sometimes 200 pounds. 55 pounds is nothing. It is so hard for me. But then today something happened. I'm still in pain. Not catastrophic pain, but still in pain. I do currently have a rib dislocated that's causing my scapula to wing, and my arm is kind of difficult to move. It's okay though, because something happened. Something happened. I straddled that bench to do a certain variation of a narrow grip lat pull down. And what happened was my body suddenly woke up and remembered. And there was no winging of my scapula. And suddenly that 55 pounds was 75 pounds and so fucking easy for me. But here's part of what happened. Tremendous pain, felt like my shoulder was going to dislocate. And I was pushing through, because some pain you have to just push through. And I know I'm in chronic pain. I have to push through that. But this felt more than chronic pain. It felt like shoulder injury about to occur. So I went ahead and I did a specific stretch for my shoulder to create space within that joint capsule. It's a little bit of traction, a little bit of movement, and then click. Oh, okay. So the wing scapula and the dislocated rib is because my shoulder has been partially dislocated for the past 2 weeks that I've been working out, doing full body weight on a TRX band. Suspension. I was using suspension bands. That little realignment that occurred. My body was no longer in a state of trying to guard, to protect itself from being injured yet again. And because my energy wasn't going towards waiting for another injury, it instead went towards lifting a load. I know I could have done 100, but I was like, don't get too eager. Don't get too excited. Save that for the next workout. I've worked out 7 days a week for the last 2 weeks. Pace myself. You see, when you have these little aha moments, it's like how my shoulder was partially dislocated and it just poop popped right back in because of a small movement, a small adjustment, a small sensation of my ligaments starting to tear because the band that I used was creating space in that joint capsule. Sometimes the very thing that gets you realigned with your purpose and flowing your full power is very painful. Shit was painful, but not in a way where I knew that I was about to be harmed again. It was painful in a way that I knew, breathe through it, sister. It's about to pop back into place. And then it did, not because I forced, but because I allowed small movements and my awareness of my mechanics, my awareness of my anatomy, and boop, popped right back in. Does that mean it's going to stay in? No, that means I need to make sure it does. That means I am aware of my alignment, and my awareness of my proper alignment obligates me to protect that alignment, to make sure it doesn't misalign again. You can either just allow healing to occur with zero input from you, and no matter what, you will heal. But as my treating physician was saying, because my pain was being referred to other places in my body, I was feeling pain in other areas. I was getting injured in other areas. The injury was moving around. That told them that my body was no longer going to wait. It was just going to heal. That's healing without your input, without your participation. Now my body is healing with my input, with my participation. I am forcing what has atrophied to wake back up. I'm forcing that. You don't get to continue to sleep while the rest of me gets injured, trying to protect the part of me that doesn't want to show up for me. That's just too fucking bad, baby boo. You're either going to wake up organically in the gym, or I'm going to force you awake with electric stimulation of that muscle. Whichever one you choose, you are going to wake up. Not because I'm angry, but because now I am fully present and fully involved in my own healing. You guys, sometimes there will be instances where you are emotionally, energetically, mentally harmed, mentally injured, and it causes you to shut down and have some grace for yourself as you try and recenter. Have some grace. But don't mistake grace for the enablement, the lack of action, the lack of desire to correct, realign, re-empower. I forgot to do that for 2025. I forgot to do that. I got caught up in feeling bad for myself and being frustrated with myself. And then one day it woke back up. And no more. I will not allow any more. No matter how painful it is, I'm going to show up every day. You know what time I had to get up today in order to make it to the gym so that I could get home in time to be live right now, so that I can still have time to be live before I need to do my work with my sanctuary, with my church? It doesn't matter what time. All I had to know was I need to show up today. I need to show up for myself. I need to show up for my public community. I need to show up for my church. Those are my obligations today. And I'm doing it. Are you doing it in pain? It does not matter. Pain is temporary. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. This is your confirmation to do it. This is your confirmation to show up. This is your confirmation to commit to yourself, to commit to your process, to not have fear of the inevitable pain you will experience as you exit out of this space of smallness. It's inevitable to experience pain when your life is being completely reshaped, reformed, refortified by soul. When I get out of this injured state, and I'm almost there, I'm going to show up for myself in ways I've never showed up for myself before. Not if I can heal this, if I can heal that. I will always have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos. That is not curable. I will always have connective issues, connective tissue issues. But I will never again take for granted what I need to do and the importance of what I have done and will do again to make sure I am the most powerful I have ever been in my entire life. What I was able to achieve before I got injured, not only will I achieve that again, I will go beyond that. And I will not allow myself to lose sight of why it's so important for me to never stop. Never stop. I'm going to share one last story with you guys. So I was talking to my sibling, and I had seen one of his posts. He injured his finger, and then like he shows me his finger, and I was like, because it looked like it almost was fucking cut off. It's healed, but you see the marks right here and right here, right? What had happened, there was some whatever, he was getting something out of the trunk of his vehicle, and it was like an automatic close, and he had to grab a tank that was super heavy, and then I guess another tank was falling, so he needed to try and hold it up, and because his tailgate is an automatic close, he put his hand like this, the fingers, to block the sensor so that it wouldn't close, but it wasn't enough because the fingers are small. If he had put his forearm, it would have closed, but he put his hand. And so the tailgate continued to close, and then it locked on itself with his finger stuck. It almost looked like, I was like, did you break your finger? Like, so you know what he did? Much to the angst of my amazing sister-in-law. He went ahead and he did the body work that he does for his clients. He did it to his finger. And his wife was like, you need to go to the ER. It looks like your bone might be broken. He's like, no. And he's explaining to me that what he did, because of the work that he knows the human body so intimately, like he's profound in the nature of the work that he does. What I do with energy, he does physically for the physical body. So he goes ahead and he does this protocol, and he forces his finger to keep moving. Mind you, it was just almost amputated. He forces it to keep moving. And because he knows what to do, he goes ahead and it forces all the inflammation out. It was so bad that his other fingers down to his wrist was starting to swell and turn purple. That should have been like surgical. That should have needed physical therapy, months on end, that would have ended up with a contracture, like his fucking, yeah, that should have been real fucking bad. It was only, I think it was like 2 weeks before he showed me that it had happened. It looked like it had been healed for months on end. He never lost function in that hand. Fully functional. From the moment it was injured on. Fully functional. And he said something to me that was so powerful. He said, when people get injured, their knee-jerk reaction is to no longer move. And when you no longer move, that's when the body has the opportunity to create the liquid bandage, which is an adhesion, and it causes that space to contract. The body is trying to contain and protect that injury. Kind of like what we do, right? We try and compartmentalize, we try and dissociate, we're trying to contain and protect ourselves from the injury of what we've experienced, what we've seen. Except that's what messes you up, because then all that inflammation will force compression, and that compression will affect the tendons and the ligaments. And once you allow that to set in, you're fucked. Which is what I did to myself. It's what I did to myself. This year, that is what I did to myself. I needed a refresher course on why I must always keep moving. Not moving to avoid life, but moving in such a way that prepares me to embrace it at every step, every stage, and every level of my existence. I'm ready. For what? Whatever life says I'm ready for, I'm ready. I accept it. I invite it. I'm ready. Give back to me what is rightfully mine. I'm ready. I will continue to get stronger. But what if I feel pain? Well, then I'll feel the pain and I'll do what it takes to mitigate it. But I'm ready, and I will continue forward. Walk away from this conversation with that mindset, and you will completely change your life. For some of you, you need to keep reminding yourself, you need to use it as an affirmation, because the reality is this. For most people, affirmations work because it continues to repeat until what was once a lie, inaccurate, therefore a lie, then becomes the truth that you are living. I don't do affirmations. Why? Because I refuse to lie to myself. Instead, I see it for what it is, and this just because of the way my brain functions. I see it for what it is. If there is some type of deficiency, weakness, misalignment, whatever it is, I'm going to do what I need to do to correct that so it can function in the way that I want it to. If your mind doesn't function like that and you need to like baby step, A, respect your process. Do the affirmations every day. I am formidable. I am unstoppable. I'm showing up for myself today. I am formidable. I am unstoppable. I'm showing up for myself today. I am formidable. I am unstoppable. I am showing up for myself today. That's all you got to do. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Keep doing it. Keep living it. Keep saying it, keep doing it, keep living it. Keep saying it, keep doing it, keep living it. Keep saying it, keep doing it, keep living it. And then eventually it becomes your reality. And then next thing you know, who the fuck is this baddie? It's you, boo. Who the fuck is this baddie? It's you, boo. It's you. You're the baddie. Who's the baddie? You're the baddie. Who's the baddie? You're the baddie. That's my affirmation. Yeah, no, I don't try and convince myself I'm doing something. I do it. And if I'm unable to do it, I do it again and again and again and again and again and again until I get sick and tired of being afraid of not being able to do it. And I just fucking do it. But that's how my brain works. If your brain needs you to be more gentle, then be gentle. Be gentle. Notice it's not gentle, but I'm not attacking myself. At no point is it okay to attack yourself. At no point. So, y'all have heard everything you need to hear. You go do your thing. Do it in the way only you can. I am off to speak to my community. If you would like to partake in that conversation, let me find it. Click on the QR code on the screen or the link in the comments, and it will take you where you can sign up for a recurring contribution to our church. This recurring contribution is a donation. That means, guess what? It's a tax deduction. I'm not one of those fake people. I'm not calling our community a church and like it's not an actual church. No, it's an actual fucking church. We are recognized in all 50 states as well as all US territories. This is a full on faith based organization. So, whatever you guys, I want to share this. Hold on. Breathe. Breathe. It's September. We have time before November comes around, right? Okay. So I want to start a project because it's time for me. It's time. So this project, I want to create at least 100 relief kits for homeless communities. And these relief kits will have instant washing cloths. I came across it on TikTok last night, where all you need is a little bit of water, and it's already impregnated with soap that doesn't need to be rinsed off. You just take a towel and you wipe it off. So people who are homeless and don't have access to showers and whatnot, they can feel clean. I want them to have fresh socks, toiletries, and all of that stuff. So this is part of what we're going to be talking about in the community today. I want us to begin trying to raise the funds to be able to do this. I'm not sure which homeless community we are going to bless with this gift yet. I might I might go ahead and fly to another state to do this, to be part of the distribution. Um, but I'm excited. This is something that needs to happen already. I want to do a lot of ministry outreach. Mm. Ooh. Oh. Okay. That makes it worth it. That makes it worth it. Um, Michael just told me something. Michael just told me that, well, he phrased it as a question. What if part of the reason you had to be so stagnant and so injured for pretty much the entire year is to get you to a space where you are even more committed, even more convicted in your desire to help and refusal to give up and slow down and quit? What if all of that was simply being used to get you up and running to be able to help the community again? And then it's worth it. then it's worth it. Mm. We all can do something. How much we can do, it's going to be different from the next person, but we all can do something. We can either watch this world burn, or we can use the fires that have already been started as spaces where we can warm ourselves before we start the hard work of turning everything around. So turn it around. And that's what we're going to do. I got to get going. For those of you who are already part of the community, go meet me over there right now. We have the Zoom link, and then we also have the room available in the community space. I will see you guys over there. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. I love you guys. I love you.